Hello, I'm DM Wisdom.
I'm DM Zoth.
And today on Agranak Studios, we take a look at EZD6.
Let's get f***ing to it. Hey, Wisdom, got any D6s?
Do I got D6s? F yeah.
They all went off the screen.
Oh, they're here.
Alright, so we're going to be taking a look at this new game, EZD6.
Yeah, heard about it from some of the OSR community guys, and yeah, EZD6. Got myself the hardcover edition here from Rune Games.
I like that cover. Simple. Green, black, a little bit of white.
I got the PDF and the hardcover, and I read through the PDF already, so this is the same thing, but in a hardcover. So let's get into it here.
Ah, there's a wizard. I like that picture.
So let's see here. Rune Games presents
EZD6 Fantasy Mayhem.
writing and game design by Scotty, DM Scotty McFarland.
Art by Sean Bova.
Layout and rat catching by Brandish Gilhelm.
Copyright Rune Games, LLC, 2022.
I like the splashes of green every once in a while. A fast-moving game of fantasy mayhem.
Nice, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, who's that guy?
That's Scotty, DM Scotty right there. And he chimes in throughout the book every once in a while, and he has things to say.
So is it like West End Games, D6, Star Wars, stuff like that?
It's not really like that. It's more like roll 1d6, and yeah, here it is. The core mechanic. The player states to the rabble-rouser, and the rabble-rouser is the game master, what they want their hero to do. The RR will tell the player the number they have to roll on a 6-sided die to succeed. For example, if a hero wants to stab an enemy with their blade, the RR asks the hero to roll a 3 or more on the D6. If the player rolls less than 3, they fail. Otherwise, they succeed and harm the enemy. It's as simple as that. And it really is simple. Here's the difficulty scale. Easy is a 2. Weak or slow enemies, 3. Normal enemies, hard, 4. Tougher or fast enemies, very hard, 5. Elite or faster enemies, super hard, 6. The ultimate or fastest enemies.
Alright, so everything's just based upon that D6 there. And that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. Roll 1d6 and see if you make it happen or not.
Okay, I get it.
Every once in a while there is a player here that's also seen throughout the book that says different things. Why don't you read it?
Okay. I'm Roderick, the coolest hero ever. Thanks to a long, storied career as an adventurer and all-round great guy, I am proficient with every weapon known to man. I always roll 2d6 when attacking, even when using spoons. That's awesome.
Yeah, so if you're trained in something, you roll 2 6-sided dice and take the better of the 2. Just like advantage, and it's called a boon. There's also a bane, which means that you roll 2 6-sided dice and then take the lower of the 2 out of that. And if they both happen to be 1s, then
yeah, I guess you're f***ed.
Yeah, you're f***ed. I rolled a 6. Rolling a 6 is always a success.
Like a natural 20.
Yeah, like a natural 20. What happens is determined by what is possible for the hero in that setting. Let the players have fun with the success and allow them to narrate a cool outcome for the roll. In combat, rolling a d6 has an added benefit. See the crit rule. Calling on your inner strength, the hero die. At the start of the session, each hero gets a hero die. This can be burned any time in the game to re-roll a die, even if you rolled a 1. Once used, the die is discarded, but can be reacquired anytime by spending 5 karma to retrieve it. See karma below. Karma, a hero's way to shrug off bad luck. Heroes often have luck on their side. How many times in stories have you seen a down-and-out hero suddenly turn the tide on gloating enemies? These are awesome moments, and karma is the mechanic in the game that represents heroes shifting luck. 3 karma are awarded to each hero at the start of the session. The RR can also award karma for excellent role-playing moments, but the most common way to acquire karma is through failure. Whenever a hero fails an action roll, they gain 1 karma. It sucks to fail a roll, and receiving a karma to use later helps take away the sting of failure and ensures that no matter how bad a player rolls, they will bank karma for later. So this actually harkens back to DM Scotty's luck dice. And if you haven't seen that or purchased that, it's only $1 on Quest Givers.
So this is kind of like get out of jail free card?
Yeah, the game ebbs and flows a bit. I mean, you're only rolling a D6 and you need for typical situations of 3 or more.
Yeah, okay. I get it. So it's good to have these sort of things as a mechanic.
Turn actions. You can attack a target, cast a spell, use a scroll, disarm a trap, pick up a dropped weapon, run or move farther by sacrificing your action, arm a shield, any other action deemed by the RR to require an action. So free actions: speak to an enemy or neutral character, take a poison.
Take a poison?
No, take a potion.
You're an idiot.
Yeah. Draw or sheath a weapon. Some inclinations use your free action, and we'll talk about inclinations here in a bit. Any other action deemed by the RR to be a free action.
All right, cool. So who goes first?
Unless the heroes are surprised by the enemy, all heroes take their turn first, and then the enemies go. Do I have 10,000 hit points?
No.
No, having lots of health points adds too much fussy math for most characters. It will take 3 strikes and you are out. But having to take those strikes is another matter. Enemies can take more or fewer strikes depending on factors in the enemy and monsters section. Here's rules on healing. Here's the crit rule explained a bit more. That's page 12. Armor. You actually roll against somebody's attack to see if you actually take that hit. So you're actually like confirming your hit if you have armor on. So if you have light armor, you would have to roll a 6. If you have better armor than that, then you would roll less on that, so a 3 or a 4 in order to confirm that hit, which I think is interesting. It helps preserve your players for a bit longer.
So here's magic. Is magic any different?
Yeah, magic is a bit different. You actually roll the target's resistance first. So if you have a D6 for the target, so the RR would roll this for your guys. And if there's a 6, your character would have to roll a 6 in order to beat that.
Okay.
But you can change the power level. So you can say, I want to use a power level 1, a power level 2, or a power level 3 in order to beat that.
What do you mean?
So if you wanted a power level 3, you would roll all 3 dice and see what happens. You want to try and beat that 6. You would have more of a chance. In this case, you didn't beat it, and you got a 1.
What does that mean?
Well, if you get a 1, it doesn't matter what the other numbers are, no matter what the dice are, you don't cast the spell, even if you happen to get a 6 in that.
Okay, so the 1 cancels it out no matter what.
Yeah, that's right. Kind of a intuitive, fun system, actually. So let's say, for instance, you're casting a spell, and the bad guy got let's not have a 6 again, a 3. So you need a 3 or more. Would you want to have a power level 1, 2, or 3?
Well, maybe in that case, I might roll 2 just to make sure.
Well, maybe that's a good gamble. Let's see. Just don't roll a 1, because if you roll a 1, you are your spell doesn't go off. So I got a 3 and a 3. You're taking the highest one, so 3 gets it.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah, it took me a second to wrap my head around it, but explaining it and kind of doing some playtesting, it's really simple. It's not much to grasp. So with scrolls can be found that have specific spells on them. See scrolls, all the different spells for those scrolls are on page 88. Once used, the scroll burns up and cannot be used again. The scroll is cast at a present power level 2d6. Ones are re-rolled. Almost an automatic success. Ones don't mean that you do not cast the scroll. So you re-roll the ones, but you still have to roll against their resistance. So if they're resisting the scroll, they have a 2 on board. You're rolling a 2d6 for the scroll. I need a better way to do this for sure.
Yeah, rolling on a round book is hard.
So I have a 3 and a 5, so that beats that 2. And so the scroll would burn up. It's not used again, and you're good to go. Miracles are different as well. As I read it, and I haven't actually gotten a chance to play this with a group yet, but as I read it, you can only try to use 1 miracle per scene, which means that if you're in a combat round, your healer, if you're some sort of cleric, can't sit there and do what 5th edition has, where it's like healing word and cure light wounds and do all these different things that might even be considered a bonus action. You get 1 chance to do this. And the way that the book reads is that the gods are really fickle and almost don't want to have miracles happen.
Oh, so gods are holes.
Yeah, pretty much. So if you're a hero with a devout inclination, you can call on miracles. So you can roll up to 3d6 like a conjurer, but instead of a power level, the roll represents the urgency of your prayer. The hero must equal or beat the aloofness roll of their deity to petition for a miracle. The RR will determine the number of aloofness dice rolled for the request. Example, resurrecting a fallen friend would be 6d6 difficulty, while a speak to the dead would be 3d6. So, for instance, you're basically doing an opposed roll. 3d6, let's say you're speaking with the dead, 3d6 for your god. That's the aloofness roll. It's a 5. You're taking that largest number. And let's say that you're going to roll 3d6 for your hero to petition your god. And you need that 5 or more, and you get a 5. Your wealth, you're not really sitting there and buying a bunch of equipment. You have wealth levels based on a D6, so easy enough to roll a 6. If you get a 5, you've got lordly wealth. You can afford to own ships or other transport and a cohort of retainers. The different hero paths: warrior, a warden, which is a ranger, a delver, a brute, which is much like a barbarian, a rascal, that's the rogue-ish person, conjurer is a mage, friar is a cleric, a skald is your bard, beastmaster, like a druid, and and you have the different species.
Yeah, let me see here. Human, elf, dwarf, halfling, goblin. All right, cool, classic.
Then you have inclinations. Humans choose any 3. All others choose any 2. And this is to give you just like bonus features, I guess, or just features. You're born blessed. You start each session with 6 karma instead of 3. Cool stuff. And this is all like a buffet. You just grab it and go.
I like that.
Faithful, demons, and undead can only hit you on a 5+. That's pretty cool. Yeah, sticky fingers. You can steal small objects from targets and remain unnoticed given the opportunity. Unless you roll a 1.
One's your enemy.
Yeah, fun, fast, easy. EZD6.
Yeah, it's in the f***ing title.
Put some dice over there, huh? So anyways, here's a section on rabble rousing here, which is our Game Master section.
Players, turn back now. Yeah, get the f*** out of here.
Yeah, so what makes a good game? Great advice throughout here. DM Scotty again, talking about playing with miniatures or terrain, your difficulty scale, etc. Let's just get deeper into here. Here's some monsters. Now, there's 2 different sections here. One for your classic monster list and another for your EZD6 monster list, which are monsters that DM Scotty has come up with. Great, wonderful little guys that are in there. And with our classic monster set, you have things, the demon, the dragon, the elementals, mirror mage, ogre, spider, stuff like that. So these guys are really abbreviated in here. Here's a giant, just a small little area. And what's great about this is that it shows you the number of strikes that they have, that it's their hit points. So that's how many times that they need to be hit in order to go down. And in order to hit them, you need what number right next to it. So a 3 here. If it's a familiar, it only has 1 strike, but you need a 5 to hit it. A dragon or great worm,
That's me.
strikes 25 of them.
Yeah, tough as shit.
And a 5 to hit.
Hell yeah.
Dragons are definitely tough.
Well, hell yeah.
Here's DM Scotty's monster list, and it has more background because it's not classic. It's not necessarily familiar. And again, this art here is friggin' fantastic. I really love it. Really did a great job with the art and all of that. And the layout is crisp and clean. I love even the larger font. I'm not squinting, and I guess that's better for us older guys.
Yeah, you f***ing old fart.
Lots of monsters in here for you to mess with your players with. Here's your treasure list. Here, scrolls and potions. You can roll a d6. There's different groups here, groupings of 6. So you can roll a d6. So group 1, scrolls. What do you have? A number 4, Flivindia's floating. Cannot sink in liquid for a scene. And I love this whole idea that there are names attached to many of these different scrolls. So Quentin's Lucky Charm, coming over here, Evic's Secret Reveal, Murdrak's Mind Reading, just fun. Just those names alone, it kind of harkens to D&D and things like Mordenkainen's Faithful Hound and Leomund's Tiny Hut. Great. Always gives you flavor and establishes whatever world you're in.
Yeah, it's cool. Really adds a lot of depth.
Potions, jewelry, trinkets, magic melee weapons or melee weapons, magic ranged weapons, unusual treasures. Good stuff. You can have magic treasures, and then they have these item properties. You roll a d20 on these. So let's just pick one. A 9, enchanted ranged weapon, boon when attacking with the weapon. So anytime you use that weapon, you get 2d6.
Handy bits.
Yeah. Rabble rousers always need a pile of tables in the back of the book. What am I doing? What monsters are in here? Who is this silly fruit vendor? This chapter has a few things to get you rolling, but nothing will beat the handy bits you create to fit your game. So I love this. This is actually quick and to the point. Rules reference. Roll 1d6, meet or beat the target number to succeed. Roll with a boon, add a d6, take the best. Roll with a bane, add a d6, take the worst. 1s are always a failure, 6 always succeed. Sixes also explode, inflict 1 strike, and then roll 1 die again. If you meet or exceed their target number, then you hit them again. Rules reference about using armor. When hit, roll armor to ignore 1 strike. If you get your number for your armor, then you ignore it. And so on and so forth. Everything laid out right here. More handy bits. Classic monster list, easy monster list. If you want to just have random monsters. Encounter twist, battle twist, lots of great things in here. The only thing that my eyes saw that was a typo, sorry to point this out, is in this female names, there's actually duplicates here. So Lexla, number 5, Lexla, number 9, and also, what was the Luxia, number 3, and Luxia, number 18. So maybe in future editions, that will get worked out. Yeah. Layer location, layer aspect, boss monster buffs. Cool for making unique monsters each and every time. More handy bits in here. And here is the character sheet. Yeah. Here it is. EZD6 from DM Scotty. A great little game with wonderful, easy, and simple rules.
Yeah, I really like it. Are you, wanting to play a game?
Yeah, you want to play with me?
Hell yeah, I do. Let's do it.
All right, let's roll up a character.
I'm gonna be the RR.
All right. Thanks for stopping by. See you on the next one.
Later. All right, do this and do that and do this and do that. And watch this video.